Hello everybody. Today we are going to see one more topic in cloud computing, which is nothing but migration of applications to the cloud. So, as uh, it is cost effective and it is easy to maintain and it is easy to run applications on the cloud, and whatever outputs are required they are getting it efficiently. So, that is the reason IT companies are moving to cloud. Either some of the applications they are moving to cloud, or they are moving all the applications whichever are there on their premises, they are moving to cloud. So, so if you see the first line, you understand that because of the environment which is provided in cloud, they need not keep their servers or computing machines on their premises, they can take it on the cloud. So, that is why most of the companies are moving to cloud. So, and a most important thing is, if you are moving to the cloud, the cost is reduced. So, that is why most of the time companies are moving to cloud. Cloud migration presents an opportunity to significantly reduce costs incurred on applications. So, what all it comprises of? Now, how migration is done? So, first we need to evaluate. Before migrating, we have to evaluate the things, what are required, what are not required. So, evaluation, this phase, this migration comprises of evaluation, migration strategy, whether all the applications or some of the applications can be moved to cloud, they will check. Prototyping, whether the applications are working properly on cloud. Once it is installed there, they need to check, and what all resources are required, that provisioning should be checked. And once everything is installed on the cloud, the organization needs to check whether the application which is put on the cloud is working properly or not. So, these are the phases which are involved in migration of an application to a cloud. So, we will see one by one. First phase is evaluation. So, what is going to be evaluated? Current infrastructure, whether the premises or the organization in which we are working, it is the infrastructure provided is sufficient or not. If it is not sufficient, do we need to buy more servers or machines? If you are buying the machines, what will be the cost? If this cost is more than what is on the cloud, then organizations are thinking, rather than buying infrastructure or rather than buying servers, it is better to move to the cloud. So, first thing they will evaluate is current infrastructure, and then we will see the application architecture. So, whether the application which is built will be working on the current premises or not. If it is not working, it is better to put on the cloud. And then in terms of compute, storage, monitoring and management, whether if any application is built, what is the computation power required, whether that computation power is available at the premises, whether we have large servers to store the data which is going to work with that application, and monitoring, whether if all these things are installed and application is put on the premises, whether it is going to work properly or not, or is it time and is it efficient, or is it cost effective or not. Those evaluations will all be done, and then agreements will be seen, agreements will be checked, what agreements are provided at the at the cloud side, and then operational processes, financial considerations, risk and security. So, whether if I am putting some application, whether it is secured in the cloud or not, or is it secured in the premises. If it is secured in the cloud, then we can move to the cloud. So, these all things are checked and evaluated. Once the organization is satisfied that this thing is better to be, this application is better to be moved to the cloud, then they will move to the cloud. So, first thing is they will evaluate all these things and check whether the application can be moved to cloud or not. Next, this strategy, what strategy you are going to apply? See, there are two strategies, one is hot plug strategy and the other is fusion strategy. So, in this case, application and the data and interface dependencies are isolated, and these applications can be organized all at once. Means what, they are separated, part can be run from here and part can be run from there, they will check, or they separated there on the cloud, and whether the applications will run properly or not. If it is working, then they are going to go with this strategy, that is nothing but hot plug strategy. Here partial application is moved onto the cloud. The reason is because they have some license problems and some dependencies on the existing applications because of some licenses and some special requirements. Some applications require mainframe, whether the mainframes we have already bought mainframes for us. So these dependencies, if these dependencies are there, wherever dependency is there, that part of the application will be running from the premises, and the other thing which are not which doesn't have of the application doesn't have any dependency, it can be moved to the cloud. So that strategy is called as fusion strategy. So from strategies, either that strategy can be applied or this strategy can be applied based on the requirement of the application. So next is prototyping. Once it is once the application is placed on the cloud, validation and prototyping activity to validate and ensure that a small portion of the applications are tested on the cloud environment with test data setup. Means what, you will not apply the whole application at a time. You will apply application and part of the data set is applied over there and check whether the application is working properly or not. If it is working properly, that is what is called as prototyping. Application which is working on the premises in the organization, in the systems which are present at the organization, or and once it is taken to the cloud, whether that application is working properly or not. First we will check it with a small data type, that is why it is called as prototyping. Next is provisioning. Optimizations are identified. So where all we can optimize, how memory can be optimized, how efficiency can be optimized, all these things are checked. So cloud servers are provisioned for all the identified environments, necessary platform softwares are available or not, applications are deployed, configurations are tuned to match the new environment sizing, and database and files are replicated. So all this and a provisioning they will check whether this all things are working with the servers which are provisioned properly or not. If it is well and good, then we can move. Next, then and the same thing in provisioning, all internal and external integration points are properly configured. Configuration should be done, and then jobs, whether and a task which are web services, batch jobs, and operation and management software are set up in the new environment. So in the new environment, all setups will be done and we'll check whether the application is working properly or not. Finally, once everything is integrated, an application is installed on the cloud, they will check whether it is working properly or not. So post migration tests are conducted to ensure that migration has been successful. Means what, application is put on the cloud and they will run and check, and a sample and trial checks will be done. With that they can understand whether it is successful or not. So performance and load testing is done, failure and recovery testing is done, scale out testing are conducted against the expected traffic. So based on the traffic, how application is performing. So all types of testings will be done. Once it is favorable and everything works properly, then an application can be moved to the cloud. So these all phases are included, so that once these all phases are satisfied, your application can be moved to cloud. Thank you.